what day is it? A Tuesday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Vatanovich Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Ladies and gentlemen, today is about one person and one person only. One person and one person only. A man who has proven the old idiom that even a broken clock can be right twice a day, or is right twice a day. Our dear friend, Mark Vatanovich, who for months now has incessantly suggested that LSU would go to the Hattiesburg Regional. Improbable as that has been many times during the course of this year, he never wavered because he himself is a Southern Miss grad. And yesterday, it did in fact come to pass that LSU is headed to the Hattiesburg Regional. So, to Mark Vatanovich, who was very Terrio-esque in said prediction. When Terrio predicts before the start of every season that LSU will go undefeated and win the national championship in literally every sport, when a miracle like 2019 happens and LSU puts together the greatest season ever, Terrio looks like a savant, a psychic. When really he just keeps saying the same thing over and over and over again, and eventually it's going to be right. So that, my dear friends, is our friend Mark Vatanovich. So I'm waiting for him to hop on here. Anyway, so we talked about yesterday that LSU was snubbed for a regional host site. Went through a lot of that yesterday. That is very, very much a bummer that LSU got snubbed. But the bid that they earned is about as good a draw as you could have hoped for. It's never easy to try to win a regional. You got to win 3 games over 4 days if you stay through the winner's bracket. But, man, I'll tell you, for this to have gone the way it did with LSU as the 2 seed behind Southern Miss, getting to play Kennesaw State, the 3 seed, and then Army is the 4. Army has been, by the way, to Baton Rouge for regional in the past. That's happened before, so there's some familiarity. LSU and Southern Miss have obviously played many times throughout the years. They did not play this year. This is a very good Southern Miss team, though. So we are going to talk about them. Southern Miss was 18 in the RPI, by the way, and they are deserving. Like I will say, this is one of those instances where you're looking at a team outside of the top 16 that got a regional host site, and I think they were worthy. Their strength of schedule was 52. They played 16 quad 1 wins, so some of those metrics don't stack up, but we'll talk about them because I think they're a very good team that is deserving of hosting and that LSU could have some trouble with. So we'll talk about that, especially if they save Tanner Hall for what will likely be the marble game against LSU. So first things first, though, LSU's going to play Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State, this is only their second regional in program history. So Kennesaw State, their first regional was in 2014. They went and played up in Louisville at the Louisville regional. But I'm looking up stuff on Kennesaw State. They do have a lefty. Their ace is a lefty. So LSU will likely face him, and lefties, as we know, giving LSU trouble this year. So Kennesaw State, 35-26 this year out of the A-Sun. Their strength of schedule was 29, which is why their RPI was so high despite not having a great record. They were 6-10 against quad 1 they just played more than half their schedule against quads 3 and 4. So LSU will face Kennesaw State on Friday. It will be the second game, so 6 p.m. And then, so the LSU play Kennesaw State 6 p.m. Should they win, they'd play the winner of Army Southern Miss. So, I'm looking at this schedule for Kennesaw State, and they did have a weekend series against Georgia Tech. They did play Georgia in a midweek game, played Georgia State. They played a game at Auburn. In conference, they played Georgia Southern, which had a good season. There's another midweek against Georgia, so they played them twice. Other than that, not a whole lot of meat on the bone. Morehead State, Fairfield. So, anyway. All right, let's say some good mornings. Y'all fire away. Jason Austin, David Coslin, good morning. Oh, by the way, real quick, so I have pinned in the comments the link for a Google review for HUDCO. So especially if you've been a HUDCO customer, if you would leave us a Google, click that link, take 2 seconds, leave us a 5-star Google review, would really appreciate it. Even if you haven't, I'd love it if you would leave us a Google review, it'd be very, very helpful. So let's see, Michael Arthur, Randy Dabdoob, Earl Lytle, good morning. Sheldon Mark Fleming, good morning. Looks like regional weekend tickets aren't available. I would imagine that it would sell out very quickly. You could probably get secondary tickets, and I'd be curious to see if they open up, standing room or whatever. But again, it's one of the downsides to playing a regional at a small park like that. You're just not gonna be able to see as many people. Jason wearing that Catholic High shirt proudly, I see. Yeah, you want to know why? Because last night Josh Smith made his major league debut for the Texas Rangers. We watched the game here. And Josh Smith, former Calico Bear and LSU Tiger, of course, went 3 for 4 in his debut. 3 singles, scored 2 runs. He struck out in his second. He got a single in his first at bat. Struck out in his second at bat on a horrible call. K-Zone had it off the plate, so home plate don't get dinged for that one. But then single in his third and fourth AB, scored 2 runs. So what a night for Josh Smith, making his big league debut and going 3 for 4 in his debut as well. It was awesome to see. So Kramer and Josh Smith have each made their big league debuts this year, and wait on a couple other guys, man. And Pap, by the way. So Kramer and Pap were our predictions, and then Cam Sanders as well. So we'll see if Cam can get that call at some point this year. Brian Broom, Kelly Gross, Tyler Coleman, good morning. Yep, Josh Smith, Greg Phillips, Jason Horn. Let's see, Brian Wynn, good morning. Chase Pellegrin, good morning. Tuesday edition of Scone and Eli. well, Eli, the Andermans had to go back to Baton Rouge, so no Eli this morning. So just me, sorry. Jeff McKithen, what's up? Earl, Matt, I think we got a great draw. What LSU team are we going to get? Inconsistent all year. Southern Miss is 3rd best ERA in the nation. So, okay, we can talk about that then. Southern Miss's ace is Tanner Hall. And he is a dude. And I kind of wish that I had Terrio on with me, or was here to talk about it on Friday or something like that. But I won't be there, obviously. So, Drew's up. So Tanner Hall is a righty from Zachary who would have given his left arm to play at LSU. And he's really good. And there were people, this is just a miss from the previous staff. I don't mean this to be insulting, or it's a miss. This is a miss from the previous staff. So Hall was a local kid who, again, would have given his arm to play at LSU. and but was upper 80s, mid upper 80s, as a 185-pound high school player who 180 whatever. But as I understand it, he was playing multiple sports. So like he was playing, I think maybe lacrosse as well. And so the whole thing was like, he's got good stuff, but do you really want a guy that's 180 pounds that throws mid upper 80s? He said, well, or was 160 pounds or whatever he was. So well, when he focuses just on baseball, you get him in a weight training program, you put 20 pounds on him, he's going to start throwing low mid 90s with that stuff, which is exactly what's happened now at Southern Miss, and he had a really good year. ERA around 2. Hey, babe.
Good morning.
He rocks up. So Tanner Hall, let's see, ERA 2.69. He's 8-2 on the season. He's pitched 93 and 2/3 innings, 130 strikeouts, 11 walks. I'm gonna say this again. In 93 and 2/3 innings pitched, Tanner Hall has 130 strikeouts and 11 walks. He's a dude. Like, he would be, if he were at LSU, he would be LSU's Friday guy. And he wanted to go to LSU desperately. And now he will likely be pitching against LSU in the Marvel game on Saturday. So LSU will have a tall task against Tanner Hall. Trivia Carter, good morning. Pat Huseman, Jed Meyer, what's up? Look on the secondary ticket market, going to be expensive to get a seat inside the shoebox in Southern Miss. That's the downside of having a regional there. Connor O'Neill, update, Josh Smith still rakes. It was awesome to watch. Merrick Mathern, where's the star of the show? Drew's over there. Eli's back in Baton Rouge. Jesse Brown, good morning. Just my thought, but I feel a requirement for a national seed should be 40 or more wins. No way A&M should be a national seed.
Did you use not a special cereal?
No, I just had Honey Nut Cheerios. The special, the medley.
Yeah, I haven't tried yet.
Connor O'Neill, like Feinswalk saying Purdue will win it all in basketball every year. Exactly. Exactly like that. But it happened, so. Jesse Brown, yes, smash the like button. Brown Bear 765. I actually laughed when I heard LSU was going to Hattiesburg. The guy in here commenting all the time was actually right. Yes, so that's Mark Vatanovich, waiting for him to pop up on Facebook. There he is. There he is. How do we get tickets to the Hattiesburg Regional? Mark, you're the Southern Miss alum. You're the one who's been calling this for months. Surely you would have put in your ticket order months ago, right? Because you knew this was going to happen. Everybody, a hat tip to Mark Vatanovich. I'm not being mean. Giving the man his props. He called it like 2 months ago that LSU was going to Hattiesburg when it was completely nonsense. But the thing is, he's probably going to do it again next year. Right? LSU's going to Hattiesburg every year from now on. You know what? I texted, or I sent Mark a message yesterday, and I sent him this. I said, hey, if it's true that a broken clock is right twice a day, and this is one time he was right, maybe the other will be Taysom Hill, because he's the guy who's insisting that Taysom is going to be the Saints star. I said, maybe Taysom will be an all-pro. Let's go. Let's go. Whew. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Juan, what's good, man? If Miami does not win the regional and LSU wins the Hattiesburg regional, who would host the Super? So it would depend. I believe, who wins the regional. My understanding is that let me not misspeak here. That the higher seeded team would host. But it might be So it's a good question. If somebody definitively knows the answer to that, let me know. My understanding was that the higher seed remaining would host. But they don't release super regional sites until after the regionals. So the top seeds would host, obviously, if they advance. So I guess it would kind of depend. Like, the odd thing about this regional that LSU's paired with is you have Miami, Ole Miss, and Arizona. So there's a possibility that if Arizona pulls an upset in Miami and LSU wins the Hattiesburg regional, Jay Johnson could go against his former squad. You don't think the committee had anything in mind when they paired that, did you? Vandy headed to Oregon State, yeah. Good, let them go. Instead of LSU making that trip again. Reagan Lee, good morning. Earl Lytle, good morning. Kennesaw State has played some SC teams this year. They played Georgia a couple times. Then they played Auburn. Mark, where can we park an RV in Hattiesburg? Mark, you're asking me? Like, you went to Southern Miss. You should know where you could. I don't know where to park an RV in Hattiesburg. I'd been to Hattiesburg, actually, to the campus, since like 2002 when my buddy was an undergrad there. He became a priest, by the way. Father Paul Gross was an undergrad at Southern Miss. Kath Westbrook, good morning. Matt, are you worried about Barry and Doty being out for a while without live pitching, being rusty? Not really, Earl, honestly. I mean, I just think, you can do your best to simulate. You can stand in the box against live pitching and watch it and just not swing, right? So you're still recognizing pitches. So no, I really don't. Those guys are so good. I just want to be healthy. Bill Schmidt, Quentin Brakebill, what's going on? Shane Henry, Kirk Taylor, hey Dad, good morning. Earl, who'd you start Friday? No. You are starting Mikhail Hilliard on Friday. Like, you don't have the luck. Listen, if you were hosting the regional and it was a 1-4 matchup and you had, in the past, like when LSU played ULM, or I'm forgetting some of the 4 seeds that have come through here over the year, Lehigh, or you can save your ace in those situations for a marble game. And I'm good with that. But in this instance, when you're a 2-3, like, you can't leave it to chance, because especially this LSU team is not coming out of the loser's bracket. So you've got to beat Kennesaw State. So Mikhail Hilliard has to pitch Friday. That's not even a decision. Like, Mikhail Hilliard has to pitch Friday. You have to win that game. And then you have to hope Ty Floyd comes back on Saturday and has really good stuff, and that you can find a way to piece together a win in a marble game, and then someone's got to come back and beat you twice. So no, you've got to start Mikhail on Friday. Let's see, I thought Kennesaw State went to Florida State, almost won the whole regional. No, it was Louisville. It was Louisville in 2014. If I'm not mistaken, let me look this up real quick. I think that was the year where Louisville had the starting pitcher that threw 100, and I can't remember, I'm blanking right now. Kentucky was in that regional that year as well. Here you go. Yep. Oh, no, that wasn't it. Never mind. That was Kent State. Kennesaw State. Let me check this real quick to make sure I have my year right. Kennesaw State. Let's see. They played in the NCAA. They played in 2014, and then this year in 2022. So I was right. This is only their second appearance. Hold on. So 2014. They were They were in the Louisville Super Regional. They won their regional. Maybe they won the Tallahassee Regional. Good call. They did play in Louisville, but it was the Louisville Super Regional. Hang on. Bear with me. Okay, here we go. So Kennesaw State, they were in Tuscaloosa. They were in Tuscaloosa, and they beat Alabama twice. So they beat Alabama in the first game. Oh, no, they weren't. It wasn't Tallahassee, but they didn't play Florida State. So look, you're right. Okay, so here's what it was. They were in Tallahassee. They beat Bama, beat Georgia Southern. So they were 2-0. Bama came out of the losers bracket, had to beat Kennesaw State twice, beat them once, and then lost the second time. So Kennesaw State advanced to Supers, where they lost to Louisville. Who was the pitcher from Louisville that year that threw 100? Funkhauser. Marty Funkhauser. What is his name? That's a character from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Okay, figured it out. Okay. As always, shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. You need a orthopedics, go to Brock. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. You need a roof, call Hudco. All right, let's see. Ryan Pike, Spurge, what's up? Todd Ohms, Bart St. Germain, Strong Side, good morning. Celebrating my B-Day today. Very good, very good, very good. Let's see. Oh, Gulf South, you're still salty. You're still salty because you're so wrong about midweek games. That's okay. It's okay. It's cute, but it's okay. Let's see. Ryan Woolridge, morning, bro. Did Robert Tunyon from the Packers get traded to the Ravens? I have no idea. Let's see. I just Googled it. Doesn't say anything. Let's see. Joey B19, is it fair to say you were right at the time, but not taking into consideration there were games to be played? It's like when they say who the MVP will be if the season ended today. So the difference with that is, I understand the point. The difference with that is that you could also look ahead and say, or so like with an MVP, if you're talking about, let's say, a quarterback, right? So season end today, this quarterback will be an MVP. Well, if he goes out and has like a 4 interception game over, the final weekend of the season or something like that, and someone has a 500-yard game and it was really close to begin with, the difference that it would tell you is it shouldn't have been close for LSU at the time. If they were still a regional host after the Ole Miss series and then swept Vanderbilt, which was a top 5 RPI team, and won a game in Hoover, that should have been enough. And I still maintain that it should have been enough. I think it's laughable that East Carolina is a host. I think Florida and Auburn hosting over LSU is laughable. Feel bad for Arkansas as well. But we talked about this a bunch yesterday. We don't need to get bogged down in the convo again. But, I mean, hindsight, sure, shouldn't have gone as hard as I did. Absolutely. And committee obviously reserves the right to change their mind, and they did. And I think it's very disappointing, but I like LSU's draw. So I think they got a great chance to go to Hattiesburg and win this regional. You win your first game, you're likely going to face Tanner. I would assume that they'll hold Tanner Hall for game 2 for what would likely be a winner's bracket game against LSU, and that's going to be a really tough ask to beat him. But if you do that, you advance. I mean, I think any of the teams, Miami, Ole Miss, Arizona, that could come out of that Coral Gables regional, you could win. Absolutely. Let's see. Ronnie Duga. Ryan Wooldridge, who was the quarterback in 14 for Kentucky football? I don't remember that season. Did LSU play Kentucky in 2014? Can you turn that down, please? Because the reason is because if this picks up that it's copyrighted music, it'll flag my video on YouTube. Let's see. Why are you asking about 2014 Kentucky football? Was that just like out of curiosity? Oh, Drew Barker. Wow. Right. Let's see. Matthew Denicola. Do you think we saved Hilliard for Southern Miss? No. Again, I think you absolutely throw McHale in the first game. Tyler Alexander. Good morning. Who'd you start for Hilliard? We've talked about that. I'll continue to say that over and over and over again. You've got to start McHale on Friday. Kerry Hughes, happy 100th birthday to brother Eldon Crafassi. Brother Eldon is 100? That's crazy. Absolutely. Probably still running too. Brother Eldon, what a guy, man. 100 years young. Good for him, man. That's awesome. Happy birthday, brother Eldon. Anybody that has gone through Catholic High over the last 70 years, I'm sure, knows brother Eldon. So that's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Paul Batts, Brian Kelly got the Gumps all fired up in Greenbow this morning. I want to beat Nick Saban, LOL, who doesn't? Yeah, right. So I saw that quote too. Yeah, I have no problem with that. I mean, if you see that as bulletin board material, that's just your own insecurity coming through. I'm talking about Alabama fans, right? Brian Kelly said, look, man, I want to come to LSU to be in the SEC, to beat Nick Saban, to compete against the best. I mean, isn't that the goal, to win a national championship? So, yeah. I mean, shoot, he lost to him twice in the BCS and college football playoff. You knew he wasn't going to get there at Notre Dame, so. David Tolson, I didn't get to listen to the show yesterday, but what specifically kept LSU from hosting a regional? I mean, it ended up being RPI.
We lost. I mean, has that to do with it? We lost those two games. No?
See, but here's the problem with that argument. So if you want to go deeper, like this is the point we keep making.
I really don't.
So I know, but I'm going to make this argument for the benefit of these people watching now. Auburn is a regional host, and they were the 5 seed. Again, so Auburn, when LSU in the final week of the season sweeps Vanderbilt on the road, a top 5 RPI team, Auburn loses a series at Kentucky, which is the last team in the field. They play the first day of the tournament. Kentucky beats them again. So Auburn loses 3 of its last 4 to Kentucky, a team just fighting for the possibility of getting into the field. Yet they're a regional host with fewer SEC wins than LSU, which swept Vanderbilt in its final regular season series and then beat that same Kentucky team in the opener of the SEC tournament. That's where it's incongruent. So then you go, why? Well, then you look at RPI. And that's where I say, like, that's why that's a flawed metric. Like, if you say, well, the SEC tournament matters, well, it did matter for Auburn. They didn't win in the SEC tournament. They lost to the last team in and had fewer SEC wins than LSU. So why are they a host? You're going to look at RPI. Well, how did their RPI get there? Well, I mean, better pre-conference schedule is probably it. I know y'all want to harp on midweek games, but I'm telling you, it's more the fact that LSU played 7 games against teams with an RPI of 230 with Southern and Bethune-Cookman. I mean, they're like 234 and 235 in the RPI. I mean, that's the thing that drags you down. When you play 7 games against teams with an RPI of Bethune-Cookman's 236, Southern's 237. You had 7 games on your schedule against those 2 teams. Like, that hurt you. Chase Pellegrin, Vegas has Georgia Southern as the 3rd best odds in their regional, LOL. Georgia Southern hosting is a joke. East Carolina hosting is a joke. Florida at 15-15 in the SEC hosting over LSU that won 17 games and a road series at Florida. And Arkansas, which won 18 games in the league, is a joke. Again, I know some of you are looking to go at sour grapes, and that's fine. I mean, I am salty about it. But it's my problem with the process when the committee does not have a set criteria that they use or that they are tasked with using. Like, if you want to make it an RPI game and just seed the field based on RPI, fine. Tweak that metric the same way we had the BCS, which was imperfect, but at least everyone knows going in, this is the metric that we're going to use. This is the thing that's going to matter, so schedule and play accordingly to this metric. The problem is, if you're not going to do that, and it's completely up to the subjective nature of that committee, but then when they want to use RPI, they do. When they want to disregard RPI, they do. Then you end up chasing your tail. So what actually do you do? You know. Let's see. Matthew Denicola, happy not to see us go west. Absolutely. Those would have been long nights. Paul Batts, LSU's draw ended up being a blessing in disguise. Now we have to get the W early in the regionals. Chris Connor, if neither national seed advances, the two winning teams will place a bid to host the Super. So that's what happened with Florida State in 2018. Earl, good morning. Who is the ace for Kennesaw State that would pitch Friday? He's a lefty. Let me read. I'll run through his. I'll give you his stat line on the year. Here you go. Right. Sorry, pulling it up. All right, Kennesaw State. Well, this must not be the guy. Jack Myers. He's a righty. Okay, he's a righty. Maybe the number 2 guy is the lefty. Anyway, all right, so he's a righty. Let's see, for the season. Let's see, he transferred in from Butler to Kennesaw State. His line this year is, excuse me. Here you go. 4.01 ERA. 15 starts, 85 in the third innings pitched, just 65 strikeouts and 29 walks. That can't be the guy. Give me 1 second. No, he can't be the guy. Because the guy that I was talking with a scout about yesterday was a lefty. Now, Myers has been there Friday, guys. So hang on, let me see if. Sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm working on it. So you may see Myers, the righty, who's a pitch to contact guy. Clearly, he's got fewer strikeouts than innings pitched. Berdacek, here he is. Here's the lefty. John Bezdicek, Bezdicek. Okay, John Bezdicek. He on the season. All right, here you go. 3.75 ERA, 74 in the third innings pitched, 81 strikeouts, and 31 walks. Again, hittable, but a lefty, and LSU's obviously struggled against lefties. So we'll see which one you face, if it's Myers or Bezdicek. But, I mean, shoot, as ways LSU struggled against lefties, I'd kind of be tempted to throw the lefty instead of the pitch to contact righty. All right, y'all, smash that like button. Thanks for watching if you're here with us. Also, do me a favor. I have pinned in the comments the link to leave a Google review for HUDCO. So if you would, I would greatly appreciate it. Take 2 seconds, click that link, leave us a 5-star review. It'd be very helpful. And
when you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone, Ontario.
a ride. Hutco Roofing, HutcoRoofing.com. Please click that link. Take 2 seconds. Leave us a Google review, 5-star review. I would very much appreciate it. Scott Fields, what's going on, man? Chance Babin, what's up? Headed to the beach today. Port Aransas? Port Aransas. What's Port Aransas?
Texas.
Oh, you been there with another man? Stealing off there on the weekends, Erica? You been there with another man?
No.
Well, how you knew about it then?
I showed things, Matt.
Tell me about dinosaurs, Erica. Y'all do ASCII? We hadn't done ASCII Rock in a minute. We hadn't done ASCII Rock in a hot minute. Let's do some ASCII Rock. Chance Babin, the Heisman was all 4 nets till we played Bama. The difference, Chance, is you had a whole month of the season left. It's a massive difference than when you have finished the regular season. You know what I mean? Like, that's the big difference. Keith Ardis, I'm hearing Jameis Winston has a visible limp. Do the Saints go after another backup like Nick Mullins just in case? Nick Mullins from Southern Miss? No, I don't think so. I think you're rolling, obviously, with Jameis, who, remember, doesn't need to be ready to roll until September. So you've still got plenty of time. And that's why you brought in Andy Dalton as well. You've got a competent backup who started a bunch of games in his career. And then you've got Ian Book, who you drafted in the 4th round last year. I'm not saying you hit your wagon to Ian Book, but you used a 4th round pick on him. You're going to use some investment there. Where are we? Chris Keller. If LSU and Arizona move on, who would host the Super? So someone posted a bit ago that the teams, if neither of the hosts win their regional, or neither of the national seeds win the regional, obviously, then, or if there's no national seed, then the teams would put in a bid to host. Blake Middleton, happy birthday, Brother Eldon, yes. See how long you can live when you don't get married. Tyler Alexander, do you think Cranford deserves to stay at 3rd with his defensive play when Barry comes back? Yeah, Tyler, I don't think Barry's going back to 3rd. Again, I don't think the broken finger will have healed enough to where he's going to be able to make that throw from 3rd base. So I think Barry stays at DH and Cranford stays at 3rd. But if Barry is able to play 3rd, then you absolutely play him at 3rd. That allows you to DH Joe Bear. That allows you to put Pearson back in right and Dugas in left. So you're better defensively there. You get an extra right-handed bat in the lineup. So if he can play 3rd, you absolutely put him back in the field at 3rd. Neil Ripley, what's going on? Is Vandy RPI still top 10? Yes, they're 7. Let me make sure I have that right, but I'm pretty sure they're 7. We looked at it yesterday. Vanderbilt 7, yes, 7. Paul Batts, LSU not hosting as John Cohen written all over it. I certainly think that's part of it. John Cohen is the committee chair, who, of course, is the Mississippi State athletic director, especially when you look at Auburn and Florida both being hosts. That's part of it. But I'll also point out to you that Eddie Nunez, former LSU associate AD, now the AD at New Mexico, he's on the committee. So is J.R. Teagues from Southeastern. So you've got LSU allies on that committee as well. Derek Adams, word on Barry and Doty. I was told yesterday they're going to play. I don't know that Barry's going to play in the field, but I was told yesterday that, yes, they're going to play. Brian Penton, what's going on? Still in Boston. Okay, man. Keith Ardis, Scone has his own NIL smart move. His own NIL. Okay. In Corpus. That's about where Port Aransas is, Erica.
Yeah.
Down in Corpus. When you been there, Erica?
Yeah.
With another mic. Pre-Scone, huh? Huh?
No. I just know where it is, right?
William Hodges, I'm sure you've answered this, but what happened? How was Auburn hosting over Arkansas or LSU? I have answered it quite a bunch. It's, again, because committee can do what they want. And ultimately, they looked at RPI for that and said, oh, well, look, Auburn's RPI is 14. We'll let them host over LSU, who is 25. But then you have Texas A&M, whose RPI is 22 and is 37 and 18 on the season, whereas LSU's 38 and 20. So LSU actually has one more win than Texas A&M. A&M strength of schedule 23, LSU strength of schedule 19. A&M quad 1, 15 and 8. LSU quad 1, 10 and 16. I mean, it's really, really, really perplexing. Like, for whatever argument you're going to make against LSU, it's the same argument that you can make for someone who did get to host, and vice versa. So, all right, where are we? Randall Offrecht, good morning. This is the greatest moment of Mark's life. But wait until Taysom Hill starts and becomes an all-pro. Then it really then it trumps this. Hayes Green, good morning. Ultimate Warrior, I don't see Aaron Nola on our roster. Right, oh, I see what you're saying, so to pitch backwards. So in 2012, 2012 was the rotation where LSU had Gosman, Eads, and freshman Aaron Nola. So they played ULM and started freshman Aaron Nola in the 1 versus 4 matchup. And so you're right, there wasn't an Aaron Nola, but if you remember, they played, I think in 2015, maybe it was 2013, Lehigh. And I think that's the game where they started, it had to be 15, where they started Cartwright. And the rains came, and I think Cartwright got knocked around in the first inning. I mean, yeah, they played Jackson State in 2013. So they pitched backwards in that game, right? Like, you can do that if you have what you feel like is a favorable matchup against the number 4. You can't do that in a 2 versus 3. You can't do it in a 2 versus 3. Hey, Michael Ongeron. Erica, you have to say it. He said that was the terms of our agreement of him bringing our golf cart to us. You had to say his name correctly.
Michael Ongeron. It's ridiculous.
I need my eye drops. My eyes are like completely dried out right now. Hayes Green. B1NG James. Vandy has been getting tore up. They have. Sports Fan 79. Cole Lecoq. What is the ballpark dimensions at Southern Miss? Does the ball fly well there? Let's see. M.M. Roberts. Nope, that's football.
It's supposed to rain today, huh? Perfect. We're going perfect weather.
Pete Taylor Park. Here we go. Oh, it's artificial too. All right, dimensions. Here we go. Left 340. That's left and right at 340. Both are bigger than the box. Center's 400. Box is 405. Alleys, that's where you can do your damage. 365. Alleys at the box are 385. So shorter in the alleys and straightaway center, longer down the lines. And it's artificial surface. Let's see. Largest attendance ever. How about this? 5,689 back in 2011 against Ole Miss, and 5,658 against LSU in 2008. Right. Go Tigers. How about Josh Smith? Yes, sir. Talked about it earlier. 3 for 4 in his debut, 3 singles. The one out. We watched the game last night. The one out was I don't think he had put out last night though. Not that I saw anyway. But he had 3 for 4, scored 2 runs. His one out was a strikeout, looking, but it was a bad call. K-Zone had it as a ball. So anyway. People said Lincoln Riley was scared of the SEC. Might have been smart to go out to Southern Cal. Let's see. Gulf South. I am salty. Got hit by a couple of waves and still tasting the salt water. LOL. Where are y'all, man? Yeah, I wonder if you're close.
Are you going down?
Ultimate Warrior. 4 Sunbelt teams got in over North Carolina State. Damn. Robert Potts, let's see. Kennesaw State's my alma mater. Do not sleep on the Owls. I mean, we're probably going to sleep on the Owls, but that's okay. Traditionally good at baseball, won 2 Division II level titles before moving up. They get players, they get fired up for tournaments. Good. We're probably going to sleep on them. You're probably right that we shouldn't, but probably going to sleep on them. It might be a mistake, but probably going to sleep on them. Ronnie, but I'm still saying you got to throw McHale. Like, you've got to throw McHale Hilliard against Kennesaw State. So sad to penalize you for playing those games. Seems like they would want to promote smaller schools. LSU tries to help smaller state schools. It hurts them just to play. So, Ronnie, listen, everyone throws up games in the midweek against in-state directional school, whatever. Like, that happens for literally every program. The problem for LSU this year is Jay had to put together a schedule very quickly, and the pre-conference was a joke. I mean, the one thing that they did in the pre-conference that was meaningful was they went to Houston and they played Texas and Tanya. Mimi's out here. Mimi, I tell you what. Mimi just dropped it. Mimi, the whole bottle?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say.
Mimi just cursed on Morning Scone. I tell you what, some of our most raucous content has been Mimi making Drew cry, cursing. Mimi's House of Pain.
Yeah.
That's where it came from, Erica. She was holding a bottle of water under her arm, walking down the stairs, and it just, like, sideways. And so it all dripped out of the cap. What was the cap not on? Good? Oh, the cap was not on the bottle of water, so it just dripped right down.
At all?
It was on a little bit, but we have a little bit of water going up those stairs.
Okay. I mean, you wouldn't have thought that maybe it would, at the top of the stairs, you'd stop with the cap on?
I love you, man.
No, I mean, you just walk all the way down.
You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Pete TG Toasty, Sports Fan 79, what's good? Ooh, where are we? On a serious note, Matt, how's Drew and the wife?
To go look for someone.
Hey, the wife.
The wife.
He said, how's Drew and the wife?
Wife's good.
E-Rock.
Who went to go get his.
E-Rock's good. E-Rock's a little sunburned.
Not really anymore.
Okay, good. Oh, good. Oh, it's much better. Much better.
Much better. Oh my God. I would like put with
Oh, yeah.
Vaseline.
Yeah, you look like a lobster 2 days ago. Tell you what. Brandon, I'm just here for the Mark comments. Hunter Fournette, if ECU is a national host, just play nothing but cupcakes in the pre-conference. So Hunter, that's the counter argument, right? Like that was the whole show yesterday was, okay, do you just schedule nothing but patsies and win a bunch of games and have, I mean, East Carolina's strength of schedule was 107. If I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure I have this right. But I'm pretty sure I had East Carolina's strength of schedule was 107. Let me make sure. They, what am I looking at? No, I'm sorry. Maryland's strength of schedule was 107. ECU was 33. But East Carolina played only 9 quad 1 games. So they played only 9 games against top 50 teams in the country. LSU played 26. I mean, half your schedule was against the top 50 in the country. That's the argument, right? Like, why play tougher games if you could play lesser teams, stockpile wins, and the committee's not going to dig you? Maryland is the most egregious example of that. The fact that Maryland was 45-12 this year, again, and their strength of schedule was 107. They played 7 quad 1 games. They were 3-4. So you played 7 games against the top 50. Your strength of schedule was 107, but you were 45-12 overall. So you're the number 9 RPI because you won a whole bunch of games and played nobody. And so you're a host. It's actually, it's a joke. It's a joke. Hey, bud.
What would you like?
Hey, Drew. You want to come see Dad's show?
No.
You want to come say hi, Dad's show?
Go say hi, Dad show, and then maybe got the videos.
Come say hi, Dad's show. All right. Come say hi, Dad's show. All right. Sit on Dad's lap.
No.
Can we say, what do we say? Wait, hang on. We say, what do we say? We say, hi, Dad's show.
Hi, Dad.
Good job. Hey, where are we?
Ruby.
Drew's Beach House. Okay, now you can go watch Mimi Catherine videos. Okay, go ahead. See you later. Get out of here. See you. Okay. Smash that like button, y'all, if you would. Smash the like button. Like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. Robert Potts, what's going on? Robert Potts, they won their regional, played in the Supers. Catcher was I thought you were saying you played in the Supers. Got it. Merrick Mathern. Mimi has a potty mouth. She kind of does some. Mimi does let some.
Just shitting.
She does. She does. They're not bad ones.
No.
Just S and D. She goes just. Mimi. That's what she says from the top rope. Ask E-Rock, how far does LSU make it in the tournament?
There's ice in there. How many losses? How many losses do we get out?
Well, 2 in the regionals, and then 2 in the Supers. Well, 2 the rest of it,
So you have
still
to
elimination.
qualify with
So they're in the regionals. This weekend they're going to play Southern Miss. They're going to play at Southern Miss. They're going to play Kennesaw State first. If they beat Kennesaw State, they probably play Southern Miss. And if they win those 2, then someone's got to come back and beat them twice. Do you think they win the regional? No. All right. E-Rock says LSU's not winning the regional. I think she's just ready for baseball to be over. I, however, would like to see them play deep into June for the sake of my show and because I want them to win it. Randall Offrecht. Matt, do you know if Musso is going to the Hattiesburg Regional to watch LSU? No idea. Hunter Fournette asked E-Rock, why does the NCAA baseball tournament selection committee suck?
I think anytime we don't get what we want, we think they suck.
But maybe they do. Michael Malonson, Matt, why ESPN Plus for the game? Yeah, I don't know that.
It's time.
Can we turn that down at all?
No, Dad, do the ice. It's fine.
I'm just doing a live show.
Yeah, it's fine.
No worries.
The house will be.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I'm serious. He said please. Drew's smacking the phone going louder, please.
You're the one making me turn it off.
Maybe we can go put him in a closet upstairs or something with a loud
You can go
phone.
upstairs and get your
Excuse me. I would have, but somebody decided to sleep until 10 o'clock this morning.
9 o'clock.
Let's see. Yeah, so Michael, the Hattiesburg Regional just isn't going to be one of the primary regionals. That's why. I mean, so ESPN is going to put the premier. It's almost like the premier groupings in golf. Like they're going to pick the best ones to put on their linear networks, plus ESPN Plus or ESPN 2U, SEC Network, all that stuff. So I get it. Ultimate Rory, we own this regional. Hope so, man. Think so. Matt, what would it take for LSU to make a deep run in Omaha? Well, Well, you got to win your regional, you got to win your super regional, and then you got to win some games in Omaha, and then you'd make a deep run. Sorry, that was a very literal answer to a not literal question. So, Randall, I start with winning the regional, right? I think you got to start Hilliard the first game and win it, and then you have to have Ty Floyd pitch really well in the marble game, which would likely be against Tanner Hall, who's been awesome. Like I've told, if y'all just joining us, Tanner Hall is a kid from Zachary who's Southern Miss's ace, and he's got an ERA around 2, 130 strikeouts to just 11 walks this year. He's been phenomenal. I mean, he wanted to go to LSU, and the former staff passed on him, and that he may make you regret that on Saturday because he's great. He really is a great player. So for LSU to advance, I think you'd need Floyd to beat Tanner Hall, basically, in the marble game. And, if you do that, someone's going to have to come back and beat you twice, which I think it's going to be a really tall task. So if you start 2-0, I think you win the regional. And then we'll see who you're paired with. I can't tell you I know a ton about Miami's team this year. The ACC was fantastic. The ACC was second only to the SEC this year in strength of league. So I'm going to assume that Miami was a really good baseball team this year. I don't know much about them. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Obviously, if it ends up being Arizona, Jay Johnson has a huge advantage there, knowing that roster, their personnel. And then Ole Miss, you obviously already played them. So, I like LSU's chances to be able to compete in a super regional against any of those teams. Going to Miami, I think would be tough, but LSU's obviously played well on the road. And then to make a deep run in Omaha, I think you got to start in the winner's bracket. It's just too hard with this format to try to do anything coming out of the loser's bracket, especially with a team like LSU that doesn't have a deep rotation of starting pitchers. So I'd say the key is to you got to have McHale be McHale, go win Friday against Kennesaw State, and then have Ty Floyd pitch really well against Southern Miss likely on Saturday. If you do that, then you got a shot. All right, any more? Again, if you're just joining us, thanks for being there. YouTube, smash that like button. Facebook, like the page, share the post. Also, YouTube, if you've not done so yet, subscribe up to the Matt Moscone YouTube channel. Very, very helpful. And got the link in the comments there for Mark, a broken clock is right twice a day. Again, man, maybe your second right will be Taysom. The link in the comments is for Michael Angeron said, "I love it." Thanks, Erica.
Oh, thank you for getting the call.
The link is for Google reviews. Would really, really, really appreciate it if you could just take a quick second now or when we're done to click that pinned link and leave Hudco a 5-star Google review. Would love that very, very much. Thank you so much. Keith Dardis, what's up, man? USM Baseball is Nick Mullins Field at Mark Vatanovich Stadium. It's so good. Dude's having his day, man. He gets his day. Let's see, Mark, who the two players Southern Miss snagged from Louisiana Pulmonary passed on. Well, one of them is Tanner Hall. And for those just joining us, Tanner Hall is from Zachary, and I really, again, I'm not going to be on air this week, but I kind of wish I was with Terrio to tell you the story. But Ronnie's filling in for me for AFR on Friday. So he will probably be just as adept at telling the story. But Tanner Hall is from Zachary, and he was apparently a two-sport guy. And the previous staff passed on him because he was like a mid-upper 80s guy. And he was 160 pounds. But he was playing two sports, and the whole argument was, well, yeah, now, but whenever and his stuff is really good, when he focuses just on baseball, get him into a strength program, put 20 pounds on him, and mid-upper 80s becomes low mid-90s, and now you got a dude, and that's exactly what's happened. He's, 6'1", 180, and throwing low mid-90s, and has struck out 130, 131 batters to 11 walks. So, you know, yeah, I mean, it's a thing. And the other one, let me make sure I have this right. So Tanner Hall, I think it's Brady Faust. Let me make sure I have it. He's an infielder, yeah. Yeah, Brady Faust, infielder from Brother Martin. Played 19 games last year. This year, no, that can't be it. Maybe it is Brady Faust from Brother Martin. The other kid from Louisiana is Will Tynes, who went to Airlines, from Bossier, went to Airline. He's a pitcher. I don't think that's him. I think it's Faust from Brother Martin. Yeah, I think it's Faust from Brother Martin. Just because, I mean, as much as LSU struggled on the infield, that's a guy that could have played on the left side of the infield for you this year. Mark Vatanovich, what's the nightlife like in Hattiesburg? Mark, you went to Southern Miss. Why are you asking me? What's the nickname or backstory of the LSU fan always screaming, "Go Tigers"? Well, his name's Chris Guillotte, and he's just been a LSU baseball fan forever, so he yells, "Go Tigers." Rematch of CWS 96, father versus son, coach versus former team. That would be interesting. Yeah, of course, 96 was LSU Miami. Father versus son would be Bianco's, and coach versus former team would be Johnson against Arizona. All would be good. Mark, okay, friendly bet. If LSU beats Southern Miss this weekend, you get my Canseco 86 Donruss rated rookie. If Southern Miss beats LSU, I want your Bobby Hebert card you got signed in NOLA East. Okay, so, as I remember correctly, Mark, it was not a card. It was a picture. It was like a 5x7 glossy of Bobby Hebert. I'll have to find it, but I'll do that deal if you're cool with that, because it's not a card. It's a photo of Bobby Hebert that was signed at a gas station. I think I still have it. I'm almost positive, but I'll look it up. Richie Bird, how about Josh Smith last night? Mentioned it a couple of times for show. 3 for 4 last night. Had a great night. We actually stayed up and watched the game. I had Erica sit next to me and watch it.
You did.
Watch baseball last night. Scone's mom wants to watch her soaps. That's not Mama Scone. If you were wondering, that's Mimi. That's Erica's mom, if that's who you were referring to. I don't think she's watching her soaps. Mimi, do you watch soap operas? No, she don't watch soap operas. Eric Hart, would LSU travel in the Super regardless who wins from the other side?
Eric's not telling me hi.
Ooh, Eric.
Back up there, Eric.
Wow.
How are you, Eric? Miss you.
Wow. And by the way, no trivia or Lenny today, but we do have Eric.
Who didn't even tell me who it.
Ooh.
That's it.
Chase, if baseball had the income of football, do you think there would be more of a push to change the way committees select teams? No, because basketball's had the same problem forever too, right? I mean, every year when the NCAA basketball selection show happens, people complain about seeding and who's snubbed and all that sort of stuff too, so. Whoop, he said, I didn't know she was there listening, with a bunch of exclamations.
It's all right. I know it was honest.
I don't know, Erica. I mean, you've been talking quite a bit.
He would never
You've been talking quite a bit of it.
do that. He would never do that.
All right, Mark accepts the terms of the wager. All right, Mark, when I get back home, I'll go up into the attic and I'll see if I can dig that thing out. So I will keep you posted. I won't know till Friday when we get back, so remind me. Chance Babin, is Mimi the one who wears gloves while eating crawfish? Yes, Mimi is the one who wears the surgical gloves while eating her crawfish. Do y'all want to do Ask Mimi?
No.
This could be really good. We could do some Ask Mimi. Z-Man.
I think I ought to ask Mimi.
Let's ask Mimi and Papa. Now that would be something. Oh, she censored herself from saying but. She didn't want to say but. She was like, you say your backside here. She didn't want to say but. Woo! For fear of getting chastised. Tanya, you can say but. What you can't say is the A word on Morning Scone. Or the S word or the D word or the F word like you do all the time. Like when you body slam Drew.
Stop.
It's so crazy. Like the good old days. Good old days of Morning Scone. Oh, trivia's here.
Good morning, trivia.
Oh, Merrick Mathern asked Mimi, who is the favorite son-in-law? We all know the answer's James. I mean, like, that's the easiest one ever. Yes, it is, Tanya. It's James. We know it, and it's okay. You can love James the best.
Who's your second favorite?
Ooh.
Matt?
Me? Ooh. Oh, Matt and Jeff were tied for second. Got it.
Anticipating James as her favorite.
Trivia said, hey, Rock.
Good morning, trivia.
So, Tanya, who's your favorite daughter?
No, I don't have one.
We all know it's Erica.
It's me, it's mine.
It's funny that Jennifer thinks it's her, but it's not. Do you think, who's Barry's favorite? Lauren or Jennifer?
Lauren.
You think Lauren's taken over? Because we said forever that it was Jennifer. So Lauren's nobody's favorite? Or is Lauren taken over?
So I think it's a neck and neck.
Yeah, it's neck and neck there. Let's see. Mark Vatanovich, what's your take on the 2022 USFL Football League success or failure? Mark, I cannot believe that on this day, your day, the day when you get to take your victory lap for the absurd nature of your Southern Miss regional prediction over the last 8-10 weeks, you're asking me a USFL question. How in the world could you do that, Mark? A USFL question? I think it'll fail. All those spring football leagues all fail. I think the XFL will fail. It's just, this country has proven time and again we don't have appetite for spring football. We're doing other things. We're so immersed in football from September to February that when it's not football season, it's not football season anymore. I don't think people want it. Richie Burt, Iraq brought her personal chef on the trip.
Here's my personal chef.
Your dad?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know they meant by that.
Up,
Yeah.
ask Iraq's dad. What's on the menu for tonight? Where did he leave?
I think it's long.
Oh, he went to the beach.
I already didn't have to answer questions.
We'll do Ask Papa tomorrow. How about that? That will probably be the most entertaining thing the show's ever had if we do an Ask Barry. I mean, you want to talk about the most unfiltered, uncensored human you might ever meet. That would be funny. Woo. Ask Papa Rock. We'll do Ask Papa Rock tomorrow. All right, any more? All right, Mark, you bring that Conseco Raider. Mark, I will not be in Hattiesburg this weekend. We don't leave the beach until Friday, so I'm not going to get home on Friday and turn around on Saturday and go to Hattiesburg. So I will not be there, but we'll make plans one way or another. But deal on the Conseco card or the. By the way, I don't even know that Conseco card is worth anything anymore. Is he like your favorite player? Let's see, Jose Canseco, 1986 Donruss, you said? Let's see. What's that worth right now? 86, Jose Canseco, Donruss. Oh, the one where he's got the mustache. All right, $145 on that one, $50 on that one, $470. Wow, I guess it depends on the grading on it or whatever. Okay. Okay, here we go. We got some good ones now. Trivia said can't chat as much. Everybody doesn't go on vacation at the same time. Got it, Trivia. Got it. Randall Offrecht. Who is Mimi's favorite grandchild? That's tough. You think so?
Oh my God, she'd die for Drew.
She'd die for any of her grandkids.
Yeah, Drew's a favorite.
Is Drew your favorite?
I have no favorite.
Drew's gonna move.
We know Erica's your favorite child. So does that mean that Erica's child is your favorite grandchild?
I have no preference.
I don't know. Erica, you have to come up with some different criteria. You can't just say, oh, she would die for Drew, because she would die for any of her grandchildren.
Believe me, it's Drew. That's hands down.
I think she does the most for Drew, but she watches Drew. Like, she picks him up from school and takes him to therapy and has to, like, do a lot for Drew. But I think she would do that for any of her grandchildren if she needed to. See, T, I'm defending you there.
Thank you.
See?
I appreciate that.
Now, I do believe you do have a favorite, and I think it's Drew. Totally your favorite. I'm kidding. I actually don't know that. But I do believe
It's
Erica's
like
your favorite
Drew
child.
needs her the most, just like I need her the most. I think that's why.
Oh, that's true. And you both are Enneagram 2s, and 2s need to be needed.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like you that's what. So yeah, so that makes sense. It makes sense. Let's see. Hunter Fournette, is Mimi low key kind of weird?
No.
Is Mimi low key kind of weird? Like on the download, just like a little weird.
Yeah.
Just a little slang. Scone and T in Hattiesburg. No, not happening. Not happening. Not happening. Not happening. Not happening. All right, I think we're just about done. Anything else? Going once, going twice. Smash that like button on the way out. Only 45 likes on YouTube. We got 100 people watching. We could do way better than that. Please smash the like button if you would. And please, 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 I'm asking, an hour and 12 minutes on vacation. The one thing you could do for me is take 10 seconds, click the pinned post, and leave a HUDCO Google review. That would be so helpful. 5-star Google review, we'd appreciate it so much. Helps all with search engine optimization, all that stuff. So that would be a gigantic help. Even if you just say, we love Scone and or whatever, or Terrio, or any, whatever. Well, I appreciate it greatly. So, all right, y'all have an awesome day. Ask Papa Rock tomorrow. Ask Mimi and Papa tomorrow. How about that? Get them both in here. What about that? Okay, y'all have an awesome day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace. To the beach we go.